And what's happening, everybody? Cappuccino back with that Family, Fitness, and Life podcast. Of course, I'm still kicking things off with the Training Wheel podcast. And sit with me, I got my girl, Shanae, who's one of the trainers over at Nice Gym. And Shanae also does a lot of things. For one, not only is she a trainer, she's a mom, she has a full-time job, she has her Girls with Guns thing, and you do some competition stuff too.
Yes, powerlifting.
So first of all, what got you into the whole wanting to get into the whole fitness life in general?
Well, about 5 years ago, I was looking for a trainer, and I came across Mr. Knight, Mr. Tommy Knight, owner of Nice Gym, on Facebook, and I inboxed him about, his rates, and started training and working out with him, and started learning some things that I didn't know because I was trying to work out on my own, like a lot of us do, at LA Fitness, and I'm sitting there like, on the treadmill looking at everybody else, wondering why they're loving fitness so much, and I'm like, this is a full-time job, this is like hard, why don't I love it and enjoy it the way they do? And so I, like a lot of us, gave up, and then once I started training with Tommy, he explained to me the the science behind what I was doing with my body. So that made it more interesting for me and made me continue to just keep pushing and learn more right, because it's when you know what you're doing is different as opposed to just going and doing something and not knowing what the results are going to be, and not knowing exactly what you're doing with your body. So it was a process just like anything else, but I was able to have patience with it because I knew what was going on with my body, and then I started seeing some results, and I loved it. It took off from there, and I loved the fact that knowing what I was doing changed me, and I just wanted to start sharing that with other people. So that's why I decided to become a trainer.
So also, as far as you getting into fitness, was it one of those things like, okay, I got tired of being lazy, I wanted to keep myself busy and active? Was it one of those the health situations? Like, what was it initially that got you in the gym?
A procrastinator.
Okay.
I was a procrastinator. I was also at a point in my life where I had some personal problems going on, and I always had. I seem to always start something and then finish it.
Okay.
So it was just something that I wanted to do for myself, and in light of like I said, my personal problems and all. So that was the initial right. That was the initial reason that I got into fitness, and I just wanted to do something for myself that I would be proud of. I used to be an athlete in high school, so I was always fit, but then after I had my children, I went to college, had kids, and the things that I could do when I was younger, I couldn't do anymore. I would eat any time of the night. I would eat whatever I wanted to eat, and that wasn't going to work after having children and not being active in high school and in athletics anymore. So I started to feel uncomfortable in my own skin because I wasn't used to that. So I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to go work out, but I wasn't really familiar with. I was familiar with sports, right? Because I played volleyball, I played softball, but I wasn't familiar with fitness, just working out in general. So that's what initially drove me to go ahead and get into it.
And now being a trainer, like I said, you pretty much doing a lot of things because you are the full-time mom. You have a full-time job. How do you manage to get in? I mean, I think that's a lot of people's situation now. Like, how do I do all this, manage all this, and then still be able to go to the gym? How do you manage your time?
Well, schedule. I just have a schedule. I mean, we make time for what we want to make time for. That's the bottom line. Right. It was important enough for me to do. So that's it. With my children, they are a little older now. It was hard in the beginning, which was about 5 years ago. So my daughter, she's 17. She actually works there.
Right.
Yeah, she makes the smoothies sometimes. So she's 17. My son, he's 13. So they're a little older now. At the time I started, they were like 12 and 8. Okay. But they were still old enough, for me to be able to, come home and, for them to be able to make small meals at home and things like this. So it wasn't like I had to, and I meal prepped a lot too. So that was the good thing. But now they are older, so I do understand some people's problems with children, childcare, and things of that nature. But it's just scheduling. Like I said, we make time for what we want to make time for, and fitness was just something that I got so used to that I just had to be in the gym. And so then I started discovering certain things about me, like my strength, which I know you're gonna get into, like the powerlifting and stuff. So when I did that, it was just like a whole nother goal of mine after I lost the weight and felt comfortable.
And that's what
in
I was
my
going
body
to ask
again.
also. What made you decide to go into the whole powerlifting thing now?
Well, when I first started losing and I started, shaping up and everything, the way my body is built, I'm bigger up top than I am down the bottom. So I didn't like how small my legs got.
Okay.
I was like, no, this is not going to
well
work.
balanced.
Right. This is not going to work. And my upper body is natural. Like, I don't lift a whole lot of weights up top, but my upper body is just more structured naturally. So when I started losing weight, you see more muscle up top.
Okay.
And then the bottom went too, though. So I didn't like that. So what I started doing with Tommy's advice was to start lifting heavy with my lower body. So basically squatting heavy, deadlifting, and then deadlifting just became my favorite. Just heavy weights.
And you set a new goal basically with that. You set a new goal with that basically.
Because once I started doing that, I saw what my natural strength was.
Okay.
And then I just loved deadlifting after that because I had no hamstrings, like none at all. He used to tease me about that, not having any hamstrings. It's just like a full body toning exercise. I call it the king of the lifts. A lot of people in powerlifting call it king of the lifts. So I just found out my natural strength through that, and then it was like, okay, you're picking up 245 first, and then it was like 265, and then it was like 300,
and it got bigger and
it
bigger.
Just is. Yeah. So yeah, right now I'm hoping, I almost got 405 up, so I'm hoping within the next week or so, or within the next month, I'll get up that 405.
It's funny because you're saying how much you can lift, and when you see her body frame, you're like, really?
Right.
And that's part of the whole thick fit, and that's why I'm surprised with everything that Shanae does. I'm like, okay, full-time mom, full-time job, trainer, and powerlifter as well. As far as your kids, do they see mom and be like, you know what, I can do this too, I want to get into the whole fitness field as well?
No.
Are they supportive though?
They are. They come to, I've done a couple meets. They've come and they've been supportive. You can see how proud of me they are. But when it comes to, my daughter is total opposite of me. She's not athletic at all.
Not motivated by seeing mom do all these things?
I think that she may be motivated in other areas because that's another thing about fitness that I like is that it helps to motivate you and not just the physical, but the mental aspect as well.
Okay.
So she sees that I'm able to start something and finish it, or she sees that, that if I have a goal that I'm actually, pushing for and I'm doing everything I need to reach that goal. So it helps in those types of ways. But
what about your son? Because I know at one point I would see your son doing the boxing classes here and there. So what's your son like now as far as the physical fitness of his life?
Well, I had to put him in football. He's in football now. He doesn't do boxing anymore. I felt like he needed more of a team sport. He needed to be a little more socialized with the boys and stuff. He's staying active, definitely. Okay. No kid in my house is not going to be active. She gets on the treadmill in the basement. She, up and down the steps. Even if I have to push her to do it, I'll tease her and say, okay, and your stomach going to look like this, So you got to work. You don't want to be waiting until you are, 30 years old, and then all of a sudden, you look up and it's hard to get rid of. So
now, also, if y'all follow Shanae online, you also see this thing, Girls with Guns. Explain that for us a little bit, the idea behind Girls with Guns.
Well, the idea behind Girls with Guns is just, it's the name that I came up with to help people just to help eliminate the stereotypes that are associated with females who weight train. Because a lot of people, first of all, a lot of clients, the first thing that they say, a lot of women in general just say they don't want to lift weights because they're going to look like a man. I don't want to get big and bulky. We've heard that 1,000 million times. Like I said earlier, understanding the science behind it, you will know that just because you lift weights does not mean you're going to get big like a man. While we respect other people's goals, some of the bodybuilders and those who may powerlift, you may see big powerlifting women, but powerlifting is not about mass gains, it's about strength gains. They're two different things. So, Girls with Guns, like I said, the idea behind it is just to let people know that you don't have to look like a man if you lift weights.
Because Shanae does not look like a man.
Right? It's toning, and your body actually needs it. It helps us to keep, our muscles intact. It helps, as we age, helps us to keep our muscles intact. And there's a lot of benefits behind weight training. So that's the idea behind Girls with Guns.
All right, go ahead, Shanae. Look, Shanae sat down with us talking this week for the podcast of Training Wheel. Like I said, we did a whole series of it, speaking with trainers about why they decided to get into fitness. And thank you so much.
You are so welcome, Miss Cat.
Hey, I will hope you guys next week right here with that Family Fitness and Life podcast.